Lions TV. We are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in 2025, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your post-match analysis video for yesterday's last-minute winner, a 2-1 win against Pompey at the Den Keeps. And I will keep saying it, our playoff dreams are alive as always. Let's kick off the show by taking a look at the 11 that Alex Neil picked to start the match. Okay, so yesterday I went from the ground to Blackheath, dropped Wazza off, Blackheath to Bexley, dropped Henry off, and then I made the long trip back to Rye. I've not been here for a while, but it looks absolutely... What does it look like in the background? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I just had shades of Breaking Bad about it behind me. But it's a beautiful day down here in Rye Harbour. And it was a long old drive last night, but it was worth every single minute. The big Serb at the double. I said already, we're all over him. A hero is born. And never more so was that proven yesterday. We love everything about him, from where he comes from to what he does to people, to his goal celebrations. And he was in the side yesterday. And I'm going to defend myself. I'm not going to defend myself. I'm going to explain myself very early. I keep saying, if we've got to go one up front, away from home, trying to make the ball stick, chasing lost causes, then I felt Coburn is the better man for that job. But I've said a million times before as well, the Serb just pulls out the bag. And we'll get on to the goals he scored in a minute, but let's start out with a starting 11. It was Lucas Jensen in goal, Kramer right back, Joe Bryan left back, Coops and Tanganga with a central defence pairing. Then it was Casper the Nor and George Saville in the centre of midfield. It was a 4-4-2 with Aaron Connolly on the left, George Honeyman on the right, and up front the aforementioned Garlic and Herb and Josh Coburn. By Alex Neil's own admissions, I covered this in my preview show, he said he was going to go for the jugular. Yesterday, on Saturday, I said in my preview, yesterday obviously is when the game was. I was very surprised by the starting lineup. But first things first, fair play to not only George Honeyman, but Alex Neil, because George Honeyman's done all right for his Stanley years, but he's really, it's clear he's been suffering from confidence. Every time he kept coming off the bench and giving the ball away 3 or 4 times, the crowd were on his back. I felt that he sensed that. And I said in my preview as well that he was out long term. I thought he was done this season. Obviously not. He's come back in. He's played right midfield. So fair play to him for having a good game, but also fair play to Alex Neil and his man management skill, because Honeyman looked like a man rejuvenated, looked like a different player, and he was flying about the pitch. And I'm still not convinced he's a right winger, and I'm sure that Honeyman will also tell you that he isn't a right winger, but he got stuck in yesterday, as he always does. Loads of energy, which he always has, but on top of that, I thought he was useful on the ball. I don't feel he made the wrong decisions. He put some good deliveries into the box, namely for the Garlic and Herb's first goal, but he was getting up and down the pitch. He looked full of confidence. So fair play to Honeyman, fair play to Alex Neil for obviously his man management skills and the chat I'm assuming he's had with Honeyman during his injury layoff and the international break. On the other wing, Connolly, again, look, maybe he's still finding his feet. He's had a difficult season. He grafts. He does. You can't say he doesn't. It's just with him, with a lot of wide players, it's that final ball. Every time he got it, not to be toxic, I was saying to Henry Watch, he's going to fall over or he's going to lose it. And he pretty much did that every time, making the wrong decisions or overrunning the ball completely and just not releasing it, falling over. But he put a shift in. But for me, getting onto the goals a bit later, I think it just proves what I keep saying every week. You need people sitting crosses in, out swingers from the byline or balls across the goal. This inverted wingers doesn't work for me, and it definitely doesn't work for me if you've got the 2 big strikers. Now, going back to earlier in the show, I said Alex Neil said that he was going to go for it. He did. The players were intense. I thought it was a fantastic atmosphere yesterday from both sets of fans. The sun was out. Pompey brought a good following. Fair play to them. The ref hindered it slightly. I felt he was very stop with it, and he wouldn't really let the game flow, the ref, in my opinion, which squashed it a little bit. The first half was not full of quality, and although we did go for it, although we did be the more aggressive side and on the front foot and really pressing forward, we again did it. We had lots of the ball, lots of balls into the box without creating anything clear cut. And sometimes, I heard people behind me shouting, it just don't fall for us. I do get what you're saying there, but does it just not fall for us? Or is it because there is a quality in our final balls that makes it a little bit messy, a little bit all over the place? But they did graft. and we did push forward, but again, we didn't really create anything. The only chance I can think in the first half, really, that even got a little ooh from the crowd, ooh, I don't know what that was the Paul Scholes style corner. That Honeyman again, good delivery, straight on the Savs' left foot, and his volley went wide and hit sort of the posts that hold up the net behind the posts. Other than that, I can't really think of anything concrete that we had on goal. Again, Connolly did collect the ball a lot. He did travel well with it. He did get beyond his defender, but as he kept getting to that byline, again, I will keep saying it, he's not on his preferred foot, so he sort of run out of ideas, run out of steam, fell over, got tackled, just at points just run the ball clear out of play. So the only chance in the first half was really for Pompey, although we had a lot of the ball, and Matt Ritchie, Henry said to me, can you hear Matt Ritchie screaming? You could hear him screaming at the rest of his team, trying to dictate, and he was frustrated because they wasn't getting a lot of change out of our defence, but the only chance they did get was a ball into the box. Joe Bryan wasn't sure what was behind him, so he sort of tries to get something on it, clears it back into sort of the mix, into the danger area, and a shot from distance. He's well saved by Jensen. It's a save I expect him to make, but he parries it and then it's cleared. In that exchange, I think that's where Jaff gets injured. Now, a little bit of... Sometimes I'll get things wrong at full time. And by the way, what I did notice about full time yesterday is, fuck me, did my beard nearly trim. I've done that this morning. I get, not confused, but there's been cold lagers consumed. There's a lot of conversations going on around. The sun's out. You only get to see it very quickly once in real time. So I thought that Jaff had dislocated his shoulder. My mate, who's actually an Arsenal fan, said to me today, you're going to struggle with that Tanganga. He's gone off with a wrist injury. So again, I run a fan channel. Probably should have checked it out this morning, but I didn't. So let me know in the comments what is wrong with Jaff, and hopefully he comes back soon. But he went off, and what that allowed was, it allows us now to see and judge, which I think we're going to get the opportunity to do for all of next season, based on where Jaff could go in the summer, is seeing Tristan Kramer playing his actual position, and with Ryan Leonard coming off the bench now, I'm hoping fully fit, especially after that run out in the absolutely sweltering heat in SE16. We'll get a chance to see what he's about now, and he's good cover for Jaff. Comes from good stock. Some people say, he's not great. My mate was a Sunderland fan, texted me and went, who is this geezer on your right wing? He's terrible. I said, who? He went, the geezer with long hair. This was the other week. I said, he's not a right back. He's not a right winger. He's not a right back. He's a centre back, but he's doing a job, and he has done a very good job. But I'm interested to see now how he will do. And with Leonard coming on, I just feel, although he plays at right back, it gives us a little bit more confidence, a little bit more ideas on the ball, and he is willing to take risks, Leonard, and also a bit more of a leader on the pitch. So I know, obviously, we don't want to lose Jaff, and we wish him all the best, but that, for me, wasn't the end of the world, although I've got to say, Coops, I love you and I always defend you. I don't know why you need to get defended, having played 300 plus games for our football club, but he did look a little bit lost after Jaff went off yesterday in the second half, especially a couple of head loss moments with his clearances. And then moving into the second half, you think, all right, we're going to shoot towards a cold blow now. We usually predominantly do a little bit better shooting down this way in the second half. And the second half, I did say on my full time yesterday that it was a complete battle yesterday, very, very scrappy. But I didn't have a problem with that in the second half at all, because both teams were at it. And as I said, the conditions, it was hard enough sitting there watching it, let alone what it must have been like pitch temperature. It must have been an absolute joke. And it wasn't great quality, but it doesn't matter. I think that proved it yesterday, because it generated a really good atmosphere in the second half, because the players were fucking having a right go. And again, we huffed and puffed and we pushed Pompey back. And I didn't think we was really going to get anywhere with it. And oh my God, how many times, by the way, it's just popped into my head, do we, I reckon 8 times out of 10, every time we have a set piece or a corner, which is a set piece, a free kick or a corner, we must concede free kicks from that 8 times out of 10. And again, I thought it was going to happen. It's a corner. George Honeyman, he's right-footed. He's on the byline. What does he do? He puts an out-swinger away from goal, which is perfect for a centre-forward. Learn our lesson from the fucking Moody and Harris and other players' days. And that's when centre-forwards like Ivanovic can thrive and get on the end of things. And he gets a good header on it. I think Pompey fans and the manager will be aggrieved that no one was really around him and he managed to get in between defenders. But as he proved with his second one as well, there's an art to that, with movement in the box and biding your time and picking the right moment. And he gets a header across goal. We was the other side of it, so it looked like he was going to bounce wide. Then I thought Connolly was going to knock it in and be offside. Connolly actually put his hands up, left it, and we're 1-0 up. And then from that point, I would and always would like to see us, and we had this discussion a lot, go on and try and kill them off. But we didn't do that. And I don't want to say we sat back, because Pompey obviously came for a point. Now they're behind. They're in a relegation fight. They're still not out of it. And everyone, as we know, and we always say, is beating everyone in this division. So they need to try and get something. So immediately they start coming forward. But I just felt we should have done more game management or kept on pursuing it. There was actually subs again. This happened a few times now. Maku and someone else, I can't remember who come on at first, was lined up ready to come on. And I said to Henry about 3 minutes before they scored, they're going to fucking score here. They'd already hit the post as well, but, you know, I just felt that they got the momentum back, which can happen in football. I'm not knocking the players, but we don't like to do things easy, do we? And then the goal is an absolute fucking, I don't know what it is. Is it a Sunday League goal? I mean, there was bodies on the line. They get a bit of luck with the first one that comes across the box. Geezer fires it, and it goes right back out to the other bloke who put the first cross on in the first instance. He's running back in, goes across, and I think it's Cooper and Casper Denor that throw their bodies on the line, and then it sort of bobbles through, and their player, I don't know whether it's a good goal from him or it's poor from us. It's just a toe poke. It actually goes through three players' legs. It goes through Cooper's legs, I think Casper's legs, and the keeper's legs, which is nothing that Jensen could have done, unsighted, and Pompey are level. And then at that point, I saw a couple of our players drop to the floor. So in my mind now, they believe the playoffs is possible. I think it might have been Saville who dropped to the floor and fucking punched it. Gutted because now everything yesterday as well, and I'll cover this a bit more tomorrow in my Sheffield United preview, everything went our way yesterday results-wise. We're now 6 points off the playoffs, and it isn't impossible with Borough playing Leeds in midweek. You've also got Bristol City, West Brom in the week. We still need to improve, in my opinion. Of course, we got a very difficult tie in the week already, like I said, against Sheffield United. But at that point, I thought, fuck, it's a draw. For about 5 minutes after, I thought, oh, fuck it, we're hanging on here. We need a point now. Which didn't really do any teams, either of us a favour. But somehow, somewhere, out of nowhere, we sort of rejuvenate, we regroup, and we really come on strong again, and we get the winner. It's a corner again, but it comes back out. Billy Mitchell was on at this point, done really well, sort of snot blowing, gum showing, getting his body in, just sort of fell on the geezer, and managed to muscle it to Casper Denor to keep the ball alive. And what does Casper Denor do? Again, a right footer. Okay, granted, he was behind the rest of the play, so it's gone sort of diagonally into the box. But again, a little bit of curve on it, an outswinger, and the big garlic hand is there again to do his celebration. I'm not going to do it, because last time I did it, I thought, what are you doing, you silly old man? But I saw a lot of people doing it. I saw Savs doing it. I nearly did it again. Behind him in his post-match interview, and we get the winner. And then after that, game management was good. In fact, I was screaming at the players at points, taking the fucking corner flag. Not they could hear me, but we continue. We tried to press. We tried to get that third goal. And Macaulay Langstaff nearly fucking got it, didn't he? Amongst others, and Maku was pushing for it. He looked good again when he came on. I still don't agree with people when they say he isn't a starter. I'd still have him over Connolly every day of the week, in my opinion. Do you agree with that? I sometimes say things, you go, he should be starting over Connolly every week. That's my opinion. That's not fact. So that is always up for debate in the comments. But look, we got it over the line. A brilliant day, topped by the sunshine, topped by the big garlic and herbs. First double, and as I said, we are now 6 points off the playoffs. It's still a big ask, but make no mistake, we still got 3 home games against Norwich, Swansea, and next Saturday against Middlesbrough. So it's definitely in our hands, and I'm sure the Den will be absolutely rocking again next Saturday. Let's hope the sun's out. Let's hope it's a sellout, and we get another 3 points and take it to the wire at least. It's better than this sort of end of season feel about it. But look, post-match analysis done. Very, very happy. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Although I'm going to post this quite late at night because the sun's out and you're all out, and Manchester Derby and all that shit. But look, have a good week, and I'll be back tomorrow for a Sheffield United preview. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Long live the big garlic hand. Come on, you Lions.